Every message you've absorbed about healing tells you the fix is more control. Tighter systems, better boundaries, a better grip. I'm going to tell you the opposite. You were never in control to begin with. And the exhaustion you're carrying isn't from the river. It's from the fighting. There's a line from Doctor Strange. The Ancient One says it. And I've been sitting for it with a couple of exactly as it was written. Because paraphrasing it would ruin it. It goes like this. You cannot beat the river into submission. You have to surrender to its current and use its power as your own. Here's what nobody tells you about the fight for control. Your ego isn't fighting because it wants control. It's fighting because it's convinced control is survival. Those are not the same thing, and the difference matters more than almost anything else I'll say to you today. Your brain was never built to find truth. It was built to predict. It was built to find certainty, to reduce the unknown to something it can pre-solve. And because that wiring, uncertainty registers in your nervous system as danger before there was any real threat in the room at all. Not after. Before. So when I say the word surrender, I mean you hear what your body actually does with that word. Because it's not peace. It's not relief. Letting go does not feel like peace. It feels like failing. If that's happening in your chest right now, just from me saying the word, there's nothing wrong with you. That's the wiring doing exactly what it was built to do. So here's the reframe I actually want to walk you. Surrender isn't losing control. It's losing the illusion you ever had it. You were never controlling the river, not for one single day. The only thing you were ever controlling, the only variable that was ever actually in your hands is actually how tired you got fighting it. Sit with that just for a sec, because most of what's getting sold to you as healing, as growth, as doing the work is just a more sophisticated grip. A better branded way to keep fighting the river and call it progress. I'm not offering that to you today. I want to show you something because I don't want you to think I made this up in a journaling session last week. This pattern is ancient and it's got receipts. Jeremiah 2:13 in the Old Testament says this, "My people have committed two sins. They've forsaken me, the river of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns that cannot hold water." Sit with that image. It's a cistern. A cistern is something you built yourself, a container you dig and seal and manage. So you never have to depend on a source you don't control. But the spring, on the other hand, the thing that fills the cistern, just flows. You don't manage the spring, you trust it. And the text says plainly, we build the cisterns because we don't trust the spring to keep flowing. And then the cisterns crack anyway because they were never built to hold what only a living source can hold. That's the whole pattern. That's ever over-functioning system you've ever built for yourself. It's one image, written thousands of years ago, before any of us were born or thought of. Don't believe me? Let's go to another one. Now we'll go to John chapter 6. Jesus has just fed thousands of people, and a crowd came back the next day wanting him to do it again. On demand, repeatable, a formula they could count on. And he refused. He didn't give them a system. He offered them relationship instead. The word in Greek is meno. It means to abide. Not to achieve, not to optimize, but to abide. That's the opposite of control. And it's not chaos. It's abiding. A few verses later in John 6:38, Jesus says something that I think is the most misunderstood sentence in the whole surrender conversation. I know I misunderstood it. For I have come down from heaven not to do my will, but to do the will of him who sent me. That's not a resignation. That is not someone giving up. That is the most active sentence in the chapter. Because surrender isn't passive defeat. It's an active reorientation of your own agency. It takes more strength to say that than it does to grip harder. Anyone who's actually done that will tell you that. And then later in the same chapter, when the teaching got hard and people started walking away in droves, Jesus actually turned to the 12 who stayed and asked them if they were leaving too. Peter's answer, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. Notice what it is not. It's not full comprehension. Peter didn't understand the mechanics. He stayed with the giver anyway because he trusted the source more than he needed the explanation. That's the model, not certainty first. Trust first. Here's why I'm telling you all this. The hoarding of certainty in your life works exactly like the hoarding of competence, of output, of proof that you're handling it. You've built cisterns everywhere. In your calendar, your inbox, in the way you show up for everyone before yourself. And every one of them is cracked, and you already know it. So I want to ask you directly, and I want you to actually answer this, not just nod at your screen. What are you still trying to grip tonight that was never yours to hold? Here's the deeper thing I've come to believe. Most people think what's standing between them and surrender is a skill they haven't yet learned, a technique, a breathing pattern, one more retreat. It isn't. It's permission. Permission they've been waiting for someone else to hand them. You've been keeping a ledger nobody else can read. Every yes you gave when you meant no. Every rest you postponed and scheduled around instead of listening. None of that was random. It runs on a schedule, and it comes due whenever you're ready for the invoice or not. That's the permission tax, the toll you keep paying for a yes you never needed. You don't need permission to stop fighting the river. You never needed the permission you've been waiting for. It was never anyone else's to give you in the first place. If this landed, come on back next Friday, same time. We're going deeper on similar exact terrain, something like that. And if this is the season you stop paying the toll, get on the wait list for the permission tax. The link is in my bio. Go add your name.